The fourth set of the day will be played on Korhal Floating Island. Spawning up in the top right-hand position, the blue Zerg from STX Seoul. His name is hyvaa, and he currently has 1 win under his belt after defeating Zest.
His opponent, the Super Ace from KT Roaster, spawning as a red Terran on the left bottom side of the map. His name is Flash.
You mentioned that he is the Super Ace. We have seen stats come out and fulfill that ace position occasionally, though.
Well, that's only because sometimes Flash isn't doing well, and they could still depend on stats to finish the game.
That's true. Stats has pretty solid PvP, and these people have pretty bad recognizing their on-camera skills. Look at that, immediately putting their camera away, being like, oh, I'm sorry.
It's their third time being on camera on the same day.
Well, I don't know why they're so fixated on that couple there.
I don't know. When it comes to StarCraft1, Flash leads against hyvaa 3-1. However, hyvaa did win the last game.
Interesting. You know, hyvaa, I remember in Brood War, he would occasionally do like really good against top-end players, but other than that, he would generally be a pretty mediocre, kind of middle-of-the-line guy.
It's like watching Hyuk.
Hyuk is like, I feel like Hyuk has like a random level luck factor added to his games. You roll the dice when he plays, and if you get a high luck number, then he will win that game guaranteed. If not, he'll end up just not winning and just losing in the most embarrassing fashion possible.
I mean, forget about the game for a second. Let's talk about Hyuk and Hoja, because like those two players, they just like have like a playoff mode, where once they go into playoffs, they start playing really well, and that might actually happen for Hoja once again. If we go into playoffs and they start sending him out.
He is the team captain. Hyuk, is Hyuk more of a coach now than a playing coach?
Yes, he is more of a playing coach, quote.
But he's pretty much a coach now. That's too bad, man. I loved seeing him play.
Same for Com, by the way.
I noticed Com still has his jersey on and stuff. Also, I think he's the most recent STX player to actually win a championship as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it was like back in like what, 2009.
I remember that he was sent over with a few other of the Kespa players during the MLG like Invitational or something when the Kespa players first came to the US to play, like just kind of for fun in an exhibition match. And he was one of the players that was considered really good at the time, so I'm wondering why he decided to take on more of a coaching role.
Well, it depends. It's a player's preference. If they're not doing well, but if they still want a solid job inside the team, they become a playing coach. If they still want to try to make it inside the team, then they stick as a player. Now, sometimes the coaches suggest them to become a coach. For example, Coach Park, when he went into NBC Game, he was a player, but Coach Ha from NBC Game, he said, well, I think you're a little bit too old, so why don't you become a coach for our team instead of a player? And look where he is now.
He's the most successful coach of all time.
Yes.
All right, well, looking at the game here, I feel like we've ignored it a little bit too much. Sorry, guys. We have a fast expansion from Flash, but nothing new there, guys. You could have guessed that. He would go for a fast expansion. Following up with the factory as well.
He's following up with the factory. hyvaa still on 2 bases, getting a geysers at the natural base.
These queens are just attacking the little destructible rocks there. For those of you who don't know, by the way, that actually prevents Protoss players from making a pylon wall and blocking a Zerg player from taking their natural expansion early. And it's kind of a cheesy tactic that is really hard to deal with and almost always gives the Protoss an unfair advantage, and that's where map balances came in, and even Blizzard's acknowledged it, and they've started adding those little rocks and stuff to their maps in Heart of the Swarm, which is a great addition. I'm glad they decided to do that.
And still on some maps, it was still possible for Protoss players to wall in the opponent. So they fixed it. Did they fix it by now?
Yeah, they fixed it. Okay. I believe it was some positions on Whirlwind they fixed.
Yes. Now, behind us, I'm not surprised, Flash getting a 3rd command center.
He says he's solved the triple CC build. He can do it every single time against his opponents when he wants to. I'm still not 100% convinced because he's lost to a lot of busts before from mainlings.
And even busts after he said that the triple command, he got it under control.
That's true. All right, well, following this up, we're just seeing some Hellions come out. Reactor Hellion opening here. We have the Stim Pack on the way, so we're not going to be seeing Mech this game from Flash. Mech has been almost seeing a little bit of a comeback, I feel, in this matchup, but not really going into Pro League too often. But Flash did do that last time he played against a Zerg player, and he managed to take the win.
Mech only works if it's a timing.
I agree.
And you can only get the timing available if you harass around with the Hellions a lot. Like, you need constant pressure with the Hellions and the Hellbat drops. And then you transition into mech, and before the Zerg can max out, you move out with a really strong tank army. And that's the point where Zerg players don't have enough Roaches, Hydras, and no Vipers mixed in.
Think about it like a Protoss Death Ball, but it's Terran units and it has to hit before a certain time.
Yes.
So actually, almost similar in some ways, opposite in others.
Think about it this way: Protoss can hit at any time. Terrans, the timing window is limited. It's like watching a TVP back in Brood War.
Exactly. Exactly.
Going for the +2/+1 timing. That's what Flash showed us last time when he played TBZ Mech.
Now, Hyvaa right now, he's made some Zerglings, but beyond that, he's really just droned up a lot here. Getting his 1/1 upgrades as well. Flash doing the same thing. Quite a passive game between both players, despite the Hellions out on the map, just kind of moving around a little bit. But I think they're just trying to prevent the creep from spreading too far.
Well, the Widow Mines are finally being built. Starport out on the way. So once we hit the 10-minute mark, once the first double medevacs are out, Flash is going to move around crazy throughout the whole map.
It's true, man. He's just going to go all over the place. Once the medevacs start, they don't stop.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with the players with amazing multitasking abilities. These Zerg players, they need to start having some static defense inside the main base, or go for earlier Spire and get a lot of mutas out to make sure that the medevacs do not go around the map.
It's true. You really do need those medevacs, or the mutas to stop the medevac play. And even then, the medevacs still are pretty good, especially with the addition of the boost ability to the medevacs. By the way, that's like the coolest ability in, I think, in Heart of the Swarm, because it's added so much excitement level to the game. And a lot of players were really frustrated with it early on. Hold on a second, though. We have a lot of Zerglings moving in here, trying to get a good surround on the Hellions here. They're able to get a few of them pretty low, but not killing off quite enough. Flash with some very impressive micro here, keeping 5 of those Hellions alive. Very nice micro from him.
Losing 1 Hellion for that many Zerglings?
I'd be happy with that trade.
Everyone would be happy with the trade as a Terran player, not the Zerg player.
Not the Zerg player. The no Zergs are happy about this right now. They're probably all like, Flash's micro is just really good in that position.
His reaction timing was also perfect before all the Hellions did get surrounded, and not gonna cut it anymore. He's gonna repair all of those Hellions before the second Zergling 1 by comes.
Sick. He's gonna do a good job here. The Marines, only a few of them are gonna die here. The Zerglings have done pretty much nothing in this position, and he's essentially just thrown away a lot of them. Flash starting a perimeter with the Widow Mines here. Kind of cool that he's doing that, actually.
I have to say, it was a little bit awkward with the second Zergling 1 by. It was better for him to save up a lot of Zerglings, get some Banelings more thin, and then try to go for a bust at the 3rd command center.
Yeah. We have 8 mutas on the way here. The 2/2 starting for Flash. +1 air attack on the way, as well as overload speed for Hyvaa as well. Getting that infestation pit pretty fast here, in addition to a macro hatchery at that 3rd base. Also Flash, he's starting to get aggressive now, but he was uncharacteristically being a bit passive. The Widow Mines, they're going to hit the Banelings, destroy a lot of them. Good splits from Flash here. Hyvaa's going to have to move back here. He's already behind 22 supply over Flash. This game could actually end up ending very quickly if Hyvaa isn't careful.
Yeah, I don't know why he committed to the attack after seeing all of the Widow Mines in the front, and now Flash, he's getting a free shot on all of those creep tumors. There are a few mutas going down towards the 3rd base, but remember, that's like 4 less mutas than he originally had.
True. Still, there's only 1 turret there. I'd like to see 2 to potentially deal with this attack. The mutas will not be able to kill the turret as long as the SCVs can get the repair on in time. And yes, Flash, with his mechanics, he's able to do that, but there is 1 turret in the main that could get sent off quite easily. None in the mineral line. This could end up doing a good amount of damage. The Marines are going to force them back. Hive on the way, as well as 2/2 for Hive's ground forces here. And we're seeing continued production with those Widow Mines. Another surround trying to happen here. The Widow Mines, though, doing a lot of damage, and a nice micro from Flash here. He's really just making this so cost-efficient trading-wise.
So Hyvaa, at the very least, he tried to go for the reverse attack on Flash's main army, but Flash didn't give any slack to Hyvaa. He just lifted all of his army, and Hyba's game plan today is like try to defend against the Widow Mines a little bit here and there while going for the really fast Hive tech. But is Flash going to give Hyvaa enough time to get the Hive up?
Hyvaa going for the Hive? Who would have guessed?
Little tongue twister. But Flash is now moving out on the map, and this is a really nice positioning. Little chokes from the right and the left side. The Widow Mines are also over there at this point.
Flash doing a great job at slowly pushing this creep back. It makes it so hard for the Zerg player. They get that proper surround and engagement on the Terran with the creep all over the place.
We do have the fast Ultra.
Ultra Den on the way. We're having the 2-2 just about to finish up here for our Zerg player, and these Marines, they got to be careful. The Banelings can do a lot of damage, but the Widow Mines will cover for them. And now Flash moving over here. I love this, man. He is abusing this high ground position, but oh my gosh,
god!
That is a disgusting fungal. Flash, he's going to lose all these forces here to some really sick fungals. The Mute is taking out a lot of units here. This is completely turned around this game.
Yes, it has, because now hyvaa, he bought enough time to save the fort base while also finishing up his Ultra Den. He just needs to make sure he doesn't suicide all these infestors until the Widow Mines. Okay, those are deactivated. Thank God.
Only one of those infestors have energy right now. The other two are pretty much dead right now. With the Banelings, though, they're going to connect. Oh my, so many dead bio units right here. The Thor, though, going to be able to deal with those mutas, force them away from this position. We have 2 Ultras on the way, another Thor about to finish as well. We're not seeing that characteristic drop play from Flash this game, just a lot of pressure, but he's not making any real leeway with it beyond killing some of the creep.
Yeah, I mean, he's losing a lot of bio units when he pushes out, and he's adding in a few Marauders here and there, but those are 5 Ultras coming out. Now, hyvaa, even with the 5 Ultras, he still needs to be careful on how he engages this army, because now the upgrades are similar. He needs great fungals on the main army.
Connection there. There's only 1 Ultra. This is actually a mistake by hyvaa. He needs to get back. He must reinforce with more units until he has that critical amount of Ultras. Good fungals going down, hitting a good amount of units here, but it's not enough. Flash now with a huge supply lead over his opponent, 173 to 138. hyvaa, if he can't hold on to this 3rd base, he's going to find himself out of the economic game.
So his 4th base is under attack. All the drones are getting taken out. Flash, he's going to be able to take out the hatchery, no problem. But here comes the Ultras.
Ultras shredding apart those Thors here. And the Queen's taking out one of the Medivacs. We're going to potentially see a drop here. Good positioning from Flash, really preventing these Ultras from doing anything. Still no drop play from Flash, though. Really just surprised about that this game.
He could just drop into the main base, but it seems like Flash, he smells blood. Gonna try to go for the 3rd base, but there's too many Ultras in that area. There we go.
There's that drop I was talking about in the main base, and he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave, guys. See you later.
1 Ultra, well, we don't want the Hardwood Swarm cinematic happening right now, so I'm gonna lift out, go back, and regroup, and then go for the attack again while going for the 4th base.
I like this. Flash just gonna continue the winning in the economic war here. We don't have that upgrade, the claw upgrade for the Widow Mines, though. That's something I've noticed about Flash. I think that may just be an oversight from him, forgetting about that crucial upgrade that allows his Widow Mines to burrow much faster, only in 1 second. His 3-3, though, about the finish.
And he does have 2 factories, so he should be getting that pretty soon. Now, I want to talk about a little bit more about hyvaa's plan today, because his plan was to defend against the Widow Mines early on and then go into fast hype, and he did do so. But he can't actually win the game. He got to the stage, but his opponent is already ready against the Ultras and the Banelings that hyvaa has.
It's true, and look at that, forcing a cancel on that base over there. hyvaa realizing he can't really defend against that. At the same time, though, he's taking that bottom right-hand expansion. His creep spread is very impressive this game, and he's got creep coverage on both potential 4th bases for Flash. At the same time, we have our Terran player trying to move around the map, doing multiple drops, taxing. hyvaa's multitasking here. If he can move in his units, yes, he is attacking that bottom right-hand base. The reinforcements over here will be taken out by the Ultras, but the problem is, well, we have a very large Marine drop in the main base. hyvaa, he has to save this hive.
If you can save this hive, then it's going to be good. Nice bungle on the bio army, and here comes the Ultras to clean up the bio ball of Flash.
It's going to force Flash out of there, but he just is going to attack at another position. We are seeing more of this drop-heavy, multi-harassment style from Flash that he is certainly known for, deciding, all right, guys, I've had enough of my fun. It's time for me to kick it into high gear.
And hyvaa is not focusing at all. With those Zerglings, he was killing his own creep tumors at the right bottom base, and he can't secure a 4th base right now. So at this point, he does have a nice number of Ultras, but once those are gone, he can't remake them. Look at the economy right now, 500 minerals and only 200 gas.
It's true. One thing I would like to see from Flash, though, is more more Marauders in his army mix here. He's got a lot of Marines right now, but only 8 Marauders. I think he's going to need a little bit more against 11 Ultras.
And here's the thing about Flash's play that we've been seeing from GSO is like, he has amazing micro, amazing macro, but his unit composition isn't the best.
That does seem to be a bit of a weak point for Flash here. I mean, don't get us wrong, he's still in an amazing position. He's maxed out against a Zerg that's only at 163 supply. But I would like to see more Marauders. He's only at 11 right now. There's more Ultras than Marauders here, so...
I mean, we're only pointing it out because, you know, Flash, he lost a few games because of his unit composition.
Yeah, that's true.
Not today, however, because he's in such a fantastic position. The fort base does get lifted, but he is also taking the 6 o'clock at the same... Well, trying to take the 6 o'clock at the same time.
That creep has to spread away. It takes a while for it to die down. And interestingly enough, Hyvaa going to be the one to kill those rocks down there at the bottom right position on the map. Actually, never mind. No, never mind. I was right. He is going for that base, but there's nothing there.
Negative.
Double negative, exactly. Only exists in English, by the way.
So it seems like Flash, he's gearing up towards attacking the 12 o'clock position. He does have a lot of Ultras and 2 Infestors, but that's going to be it. But Flash, he seems like he wants to get into nice position, but that's not that many Marauders in this composition.
Good Fungals going down, hitting a lot of units here, but the medevac count is quite impressive here. Ultra shredding through a lot of these Marines here. The Widowmine's not doing much. Flash forced to lift off here. He's still ahead in the supply game here, but his army composition, he's not able to deal with those Ultras quite well. Now we have 3 Marauders in production at a time from Flash. He is preparing for this. The Ultras moving into the main base. Will we see Flash go for the stem, do some economic damage here, maybe try to get a spawning pool? No. Moving back out and making sure that he can just secure his expansions.
The only disappointment, the good thing that Hyvaa's doing right now is that he's not sacrificing any one of those Ultras. He knows that if he loses the Ultras, he's going to lose the game right away. So that's why he's being so careful on how he engages the main army of Flash. But Flash is doing a nice job with this medevac drop inside the main base once again.
This one will go unpunished here as long as Flash deals with it. At the same time, though, his 4th under attack. He's going to have to lift off that base. Flash going for the spawning pool right now, and he's going to use the Widow Mines. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage here, really thinning out this army. The Ultras, they're getting pretty low on health with some good micro here. These Marauders may be able to kite them down. Hyvaa's army is starting to slowly crumble here, I feel. We're seeing the cracks in his defense. The Ultra count still at 11, though, here, but that Hive is getting very close to going down here. That Ultra, it can't deal with all these Marines here. It will kill off a few. The second Ultra may be able to help defend. Just, you know, Ultras all over the place. Starting to die here. Nice maneuvering from Flash. He remains ahead in the supply wars here.
Now, this is a mistake that Flash was looking for throughout the whole game. Hyvaa mistakenly throwing away all these Ultras around the map, and those 3 Widow Mines, wow.
One more Widow Mine hit will take out that Ultra.
Well, one more Marauder hit.
There it goes. Goodbye, Ultraless. You're out of there.
And now Hyvaa's in the situation where he can't remake the army of his own. He doesn't have a spawning pool, so he can't have a Zergling reinforcement. In fact, he only has 6 Ultras and 2 Infestors.
Moving in now to take out this expansion. Hyvaa is almost starved on resources at this point. He doesn't have as much bases as Flash right now. Flash can simply lift up his command centers as well if he's, you know, in a bad position to lose a base. And Hyvaa losing that one, he's down to, I guess, 2 mining bases now. That one is still getting online. He's got a few Infestors, 2 to be exact, and 6 Ultras. Really not much else beyond that.
Here's the problem for Hyvaa. I mean, the game plan was solid, and he did get to the stage, but he was never he never took a fort base on time. His fort base just finished on the right bottom base, and it's still risky because Flash is pushing into that, and he was never able to punish his opponent's economy throughout the whole game because of his game plan.
It's true. We didn't see enough Zergling run-bys. We saw delays on the 4th and 5th base, but they were never outright stopped, essentially.
Yes. And it wasn't even critical because Flash was getting it at the right time. It was only delayed for like, what, 30 seconds?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a little bit here and there. We've seen some really good fungals from our Zerg player Hyvaa this game, but the problem is the fungals haven't been able to turn the tide enough to win a decisive victory to pull them ahead in the game. The Ultras, they're just going to get kited throughout this small choke point here. Nice fungal going down, hitting a lot of those units, but Look at
Doesn't
the medevac
matter.
count. It doesn't even matter. And that last hatchery, once it go down, I think it's going to be lights out. This is the last hope for hyvaa. He has to make it work here, or he's going to be out of this game. We're killing off a lot of units, but Flash still has a good amount of his own here. He may be forced to lift off at this point, but the reinforcements will help him finish the job.
Even if he lifts up here and then gets out of there, look at the reinforcements. Flash is like, well, I lost a lot of Marines. I'm just going to make the same amount again.
And pretty much there it is. GG is called. hyvaa still, even though he lost, I feel like he played a pretty impressive game, and it's still better, a lot better than we've seen from him in the past.
It was a really solid concept. You know, a lot of these Zerg players stay in mutilating Zergling for a long time throughout the whole game, and hyvaa's like, well, I know my fort base is going to get denied once or twice, but as long as I get the Ultras out, I could drag it into the late game, and the plan didn't work out, except he just couldn't take the fort base once again, and once he took the fort base on the right bottom side, that was after he lost the spawning pool, he lost the Bailing Nest, and you know, he just didn't have enough economy to make the Ultras anymore.
That's true. All right, guys, so currently the score 3-1 with Flash and KT Rolster in the lead here. Zest getting some points earlier on for the team.